Welcome to our exciting Media Legacy Award event. Our Media Legacy Award goes to, each year, a leader of the media who shines light on the great artists and artistry of film. So many of the masterpieces that we enjoy today would go unseen and undiscovered without people like Ben Mankiewicz. Now, please enjoy the conversation.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. That was so nice.
I think everybody knows that they usually refer to Ben as being from Hollywood royalty. His grandfather was Herman, the co-writer, of Citizen Kane.
Just writer.
Just writer. I know that. I think Orson Welles had something to say about that.
He had something to say about it, but not something to write about it. But go on. But the screenplay really is Herman's. It doesn't minimize the fact that it's Orson Welles' movie. I mean, Orson Welles, as the producer, is almost the most significant role in the movie. His force of will and power made that movie happen. And then his performance is unbelievable in Citizen Kane. And then it was the movie that changed the way films are directed.
When your grandfather Herman first got into L.A., he sent back a telegram to either George Kaufman or Ben Hecht.
It was to Ben Hecht.
Okay, I think you're going to know it. I just want to make sure it's right. The telegram went like this: there's millions to be grabbed out here in L.A., and your only competition is idiots.
That's right, that's right. Get out here as soon as you can. Millions are to be made. Your only competition is idiots. And then the important last line: don't let this get around. Yeah, that is true. Herman came out during the silent era, and he wrote titles for a while and then started writing, and he never took this business seriously. Herman had a disdain for this business, and I think felt shame that this is how he made his money. I know he felt embarrassed. He had been a theater critic in New York. He thought that was substantive, the theater. The movies, these were popcorn, popular entertainment, reduced to the lowest common denominator. He was wrong, but this is what he thought.
Everybody here knows an awful lot about movies, so Herman's brother was Joseph, who directed.
Joe was Herman's younger brother. I think they're separated by about 12 years, which is oddly the exact same difference between me and my brother, who's 12 years older. Looks much older, but he's 12 years older. Joe was infinitely more successful than Herman. I mean, Joe has 4 Academy Awards, won them in back-to-back years, writing and directing back-to-back years. That will never happen again, given the way
All About Eve.
All About Eve was second, and Letter to Three Wives first. That's impressive.
Let's move on to your father, Frank, who, again, was not in the movie business. He's from California, went to a lot of second-rate schools like UC Berkeley and places like that. But he was into politics and a newspaper man, and he was head of NPR.
Yep. I
remember him, and a lot of people in here will, from one very important moment in American history, June 6, 1968, when he came on TV about 1:29 in the morning. Again, one of those things you always remember where you were, and said, among other things, the most important and vital thing: Senator Robert Francis Kennedy died at 1:22 a.m. He was 42 years old.
So, you got to remember, my dad was Bobby Kennedy's press secretary. My mom always said, and my dad didn't dispute that, my mom said, make sure you tell them how old he was so that we know what we've lost. We lost people who would have had a voice and a leadership role through these, certainly if not now, through these the last 8 years, through incredibly turbulent, difficult times, and these men would have played an important, vital role in it, and they were murdered.
You, of course, did not take this course and career you're in now immediately. You were studying history, and you were in Washington. And
I wanted to be
talk a little bit about how did you get here? Why are you here?
I was a television reporter. Yeah, was asking as soon as you invited me. I thought that was a question you should have been asking. I was a reporter. I went to a journalism school at Columbia University, where my father had gone. And I, wanted to be a reporter. I wanted to cover politics. But this was right at the moment when it was changing, when the notion that newsrooms would be permitted to sort of set a standard and lose money and cover the news, that just changed and went away. And now everybody has to turn a profit, and that, of course, has completely changed the way news is delivered. If you're going to be a good news reporter, you got to be able to say, hey, I'm working on this thing, and it's going to take me 3-4 days, maybe 8-9 days to get it. I'm working sources. It's going to be a big story. It's an important story. You can't do it. You have to do a story every day. You knock on doors and you ask a mother, you know, her thoughts on her child being killed in crossfire, and try and put it on the news like it's like this is like you're helping in some way, and you're just lying. You're just tricking somebody. And I got good at it, and I hated it. Newspapers and newsrooms around the country started cutting foreign bureaus, so we just take the State Department's and the military's word about what's happening in other countries because we don't have reporters on the ground covering it. It is weakened America. It's weakened democracy. And, you know, and now, of course, the media is under attack on a daily basis. Still great reporters out there doing good work, and they've never done it under more challenging circumstances than right now. And that sort of set me on a path of realizing I had to get out of news. I auditioned for maybe 1,000 shows. I came out to LA. I didn't work for 2 years. And then I auditioned for TCM, and you know, timing was right. You know, I never would have made the first cut without that sort of lucky little moment when they were searching for something else.
The transition, though, what were your first reviews?
Oh, people, you know, surprisingly, pretty much everyone hated me. People who love TCM, which includes, I'm sure, many of the people in this room, TCM is important to them. It connects them to their grandparents. It connects them to their parents. It connects them to another time. Maybe it's just an idea of another time. But in an incredibly divisive world, it is something that actually does bring people together. It is, people care about our channel in a way that no one cares about any other network. TV is Thanks. They brought me on and they thought, wait a minute, is this changing? Is this thing I love that matters to me, is it going to be different? Are they going to start showing commercials? Are they going to colorize movies again? Is Robert going to get pushed out, right? This sort of venerable uncle who tells me these things I want to know. And so once they figured out after 7 or 8 years that I wasn't messing things up, they sort of started to come around.
Ben, you're helping a lot of us get through this era, and please come back next year. Ben Mankiewicz.
Thank you.